Huberman fans have got a hard-on for him and really hating on me. On the video I made yesterday, that was just kind of reading off the New York Magazine article about Huberman exposing him as lying, deceitful, and manipulative. Scott Carney, the investigative journalist who was mentioned in the piece, had a YouTube live this morning where he talked about his encounters with Andrew Huberman as a friend and the deceit and manipulation that went on there. Yeah, you can have a hard-on for him. You can be in love with him some of these comments, you guys are like in love with him. It's an emotional affair you're having with him because you can see him as someone who has added knowledge and value to your life, who's done interesting research, and yet is fallible. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, and he's fallible. I'm focusing on that part because this is a channel about relationships, and an important part of being in a relationship with people is caring how they feel and how we treat them and the impact we have on them. I try to do this in my channel, but in my personal relationships, I think about how am I treating this person? Am I being honest? Am I being authentic? And Huberman isn't showing any of that. I always saw him as someone somewhat cold. And when I see guys on YouTube, I, as a woman, automatically think about them. Is this someone I would want to date? That's how I think about guys I see on YouTube. Is this someone I would want to date? You know, how do I feel about this person? And the way I felt about him, and feelings are very important too, is there's something off about this guy. He feels cold. He feels rigid, controlling. Doesn't feel warm and sensual. And then he did mention he had a girlfriend in one of his podcast interviews. I've seen him on a lot of interviews. And I eventually stopped watching him because he's too much in his head. I got bored. I have to feel people's sensuality to really want to watch them a long time. I have to feel their authenticity. And there are a number of male creators, I do watch their videos, long videos, because I feel their warmth. I have to feel the warmth of the person speaking to watch a longer video. I didn't feel that from Andrew Huberman, and I felt like he was cold. When he mentioned his girlfriend, I thought, I wonder if he treats her well. I don't see it. I could not imagine him making love to her sensually and passionately. I could not imagine. I'm like, the guy doesn't have the capacity for that. He doesn't seem warm. And I'm sure he's not married. I'm sure he has no kids. And that's a red flag for someone at his age. Because the kind of men I like, and this is my channel, they want to be married and have children. The kind of men I like want to be married and have children. You know, if they're closer to my age, they may be divorced already. So I think it's very possible to see this in people. And then the reminder really is there's a big difference between being career accomplished. You can be career accomplished, you can be charismatic, you can be attractive. For a woman, you can be hot, sexy, fun. And being emotionally dead, manipulative, deceitful, lying. You hear all the time about these people who are very charming in public and then abuse their spouses in private. Now, Huberman is not accused of any abuse. I'm not saying that. But there's a big difference between your mental capacity, the mental part of your brain, the intelligence, and the emotional part of you. It's two different parts. We cannot be misled by people's intelligence, looks, or charm as to what kind of person they are. This is a channel about relationships. This is not a science channel. I'm not debunking a science. This is not a science channel. This is about relationships, sex, and mating. And I always thought this is not a guy I would ever want to date. Ever. He's cold. And you Huberman fans, you've got a hard on for him, don't even want to see that. which is fine, but it's my channel. So I'm just pointing out that I always saw his coldness, and it's a turnoff. And while his methodologies may be good or whatever, I think what makes a person really good is how they treat other people, whether they're living from the heart, whether they're honest and they're authentic, and they take responsibility for their actions. How you treat other people. And the way he treated his live-in girlfriend was horrible. The way he treated his live-in girlfriend was horrible. That's the guy you want to admire? You know, all these incel guys and manospheres guys and men watching my video, that's your role model for how a woman is treated, how a man is treated, how he's treated Scott Carney. That's your role model? You think that's okay to treat people that way? So the question is, you don't want to believe it? Or you don't care? And I think you don't care because you got a hard-on for him. Okay? You got a hard-on for him. You're in love with him. And you're blind. You're blind. You're blind. You cannot be so emotionally invested in someone that you cannot see their flaws. You have to have an open mind. I'm not diminishing any of his science, any of his work. I'm just saying in his personal life, he has a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work to do. And this is a channel about relationships. So would I have dated this? I just hear guys saying, oh yeah, you would have dated him. No. My perfect guy is a masculine guy who emanates, and I can see that on a man's face, emanates sensuality. So you're masculine and you're sensual. There are a lot of men like that. I see them on YouTube. I'm like, this guy's masculine and sensual. That's a hot combination. Huberman didn't have that sensuality thing. His face was just cold, rigid. I'm like, no. Relationships are about how we care, how we treat each other, and how we feel. That's what I'm into. But anyway, so this is my channel, my video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to link Scott Carney's interview in the YouTube live from this morning in the description below. Thank you for stopping by to watch my video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.